Hi, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. I'm Peter Loshak. His name is Mike Brenner. We are the odds couple. Today is Wednesday, March 8th. All right, this is March Madness. We got 40 motherfucking, excuse my language, conference championship games. We got Ross Benjamin from RBWins.com calling in. All right, guys, let's give as much analysis as we can, but keep it punchy because there's a lot of games. I'm already going on too long. All right, I got a couple of picks.
Ross has got his rollerblades on because I need him to keep up with you.
Let's quickly take a pause and say Ross Benjamin's website, RBWins.com. Ross Benjamin, are you with us?
I am. Thank you
for
having
me,
guys.
Mike Brenner, yesterday, I actually had some decent advice. I wound up in my picks overall going 4-4, but I had a couple of close losses, and in general, it was not a terrible day for me. There's a couple of picks that I think I'm liking here. Definitely a lot of interesting handicapping situations.
Hey, by the way, I did do a big Twitter for the Gonzaga on an update in the office, breaking news. By God, they slammed them, and I went 2-0 my power picks.
Very nice.
Zags on the
high
first
five
half.
on that one.
Let's keep going.
And I will say in our live show, I said my first 2-second handicapping analysis of that game is Gonzaga. So I was right on that.
Yes, you did.
All right, let's get into the games today. A lot of interesting stuff. And Ross Benjamin, I believe what you were assigned for this one is to dig and find some underdogs from only mid-majors that you'll have to recommend for us, right? Okay. Is that right, Ross Benjamin?
Yeah, I'm a little bit confined here, so I just want to let the viewers know.
Right.
I always want to win, right, guys? We always do. But I'm not using any of these games with my clients today or personally betting on it myself.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so let's just
put that out there.
I don't even know where. Let's just go down the interesting games. The first game is one of the games that starts at 12 Eastern. Syracuse at home against Miami. Syracuse, of course, already played Miami, beat them by 15. What'd you say?
I think we don't need to worry about them early games.
Let's roll. Pass on that one. All right, I was just going to say.
I'm not doing any early games.
I was just going to say, my opinion on that one is that I'm not convinced that Miami has the offense to shoot over the Syracuse zone. So even though it's at a neutral site, I would be leaning Syracuse as an underdog there. Yeah. All right, another line that doesn't make sense of the day to me is Southern Miss at +11 or 11.5 against Rice. They already played twice this year. It was a close game. Both of them were close, and unless there are any injuries, which I looked into,
if it was an injury, because I looked deep into that one and I did not find anything.
Ross Benjamin, is that one of your underdog picks for today?
Yeah, it is one of my underdogs.
All right, tell us why. Give us an analysis on that one.
You bring up a very good point. I mean, Rice won both regular season meetings, but those two games were decided by a combined 3 points. A 1-point decision and a 2-point decision. Also, a Rice team shooting only 41% over their last 5 and allowing opponents to shoot 48% against them. Not understanding why this line is so big myself, I'm going to take a small lean here with Southern Miss plus the 11.5.
All right, now when I saw this game, not to extend our coverage of this game, but I thought, why just a small lean? Because I was thinking this must be great. I actually looked at this line, I was like, there must be some injury, but I looked into it, I didn't find it. Why only a small lean, Ross Benjamin?
You're just looking at a bad team in Southern Miss, and you're asking it to do good things for you. So I think that there's better value elsewhere on the board.
All right, well, I pulled the trigger on that with my own account, so I'll take it here. What the hell, Southern Miss? The line doesn't make sense to me. I'll take it plus 11.5, minus 106. Go ahead.
It's hard, and in tournament time, this happens a lot. It's hard to beat one team 3 times in one season, and without any injuries, that's what's really got me scratching my head on that line. So with that being said, let's move on.
All right, let's move on. I'm just going to touch on all the games that I think are interesting.
We're not going to try to stop you.
Thank you very much. One game that really looks interesting to me, Georgetown at St. John's. Of course, this game is being played at the Garden, so that's where St. John's plays some of their games at home. They already played Georgetown at the Garden a few games ago. They won by 6. Why exactly should Georgetown be a dog here? I'm thinking that might have some value. Mike Brenner, is that a game that you looked at?
I'm not. I did look at it, but I'm not using it. But I think you're in Chris Mullen territory right now. I think they may be dangerous. I don't like Georgetown today. I'm thinking St. John's all the way.
I'm thinking
and I think this line's definitely off.
Yeah, Ross Benjamin, is that line off to you?
Yeah, I think it's an accurate line, but the bottom line is, like you guys just alluded to, St. John's plays some of their home games at Madison Square Garden. So it's a virtual home game for St. John's, not like Georgetown is a world beater. I'd have a small lean towards St. John's there as well.
See, there's a leaning car going to the bank, and Pistol Pete's got that
I'll
look.
Throw that,
He's got that look. I knew it.
I'll take St. John's on the money line.
I knew it.
I'd have a small lean going over the total on that game too, guys.
Like that.
Going over. Okay, I haven't looked at any of the totals on this one, but I will look at them later on. I'll do an update maybe on some totals, but I will take St. John's on the money line. All right, let's go to Mike Benjamin. All right,
Mike Benjamin. Hey, guess what? That's a compliment because I love that guy.
That's what happens in March Madness. All right, Mike Brenner.
That's Ross.
What picks
Brenner.
What picks would you like to share with us
let's
today, Mike
start
Brenner?
off right here. I'm going to go with one, and I just talked about it. It's hard to beat any team 3 times in one season, but there's one I like, and I just think Bobby Hurley's going to have Arizona State ready against Stanford.
Yeah.
All right. They just Stanford this year is just at a loss. I just don't understand this team. All right. I like it. I think Hurley's going to get his boys up ready. Full game, best shop line.
Arizona State, right?
Yes.
Yeah. We can give you the Greek line plus 3.5 minus 110. Mike Brenner, that's another one I was looking at, thinking basically exactly the same way.
Okay. Well, then that makes me feel good. But moving on.
Yeah.
We gotta move on.
Yeah. Let's move on. You got anything else for us, Mike
sure
Brenner?
do, buddy. Here, let's visit Texas Tech.
Oh, yes.
Versus Texas. All right. Texas is 4-14 in conference play. All right. They're 3-12 since their leading scorer, Tevin Mack, went down. That's not going to change. I really think it's just they're 1-1 on the year, these two teams, but I think Texas Tech gets the best of them today, and I think they do it on the first half and the full game. So
see, I'll tell you my thought. I looked into this, quite a bit, I guess, but Texas Tech, I want to take Texas here, and I'll tell you why, because Shaka Smart, of course, coach of Texas, he's a great postseason coach. We remember what he did with VCU, right? Yep. The issue is, as you said, Texas has been struggling, and Texas Tech has had some pretty impressive results.
They have. They have.
West Virginia to OT. How about Texas 0-14 this year on the road in neutral site games?
Bam.
Only covered 4 of those 14 contests.
And I'm a big Shaka Smart fan as far as I know he gets them ready to go in the postseason.
Right.
But this ain't happening today. Pistol Pete, best shop line on the half and the game.
All right, the half and the game. The game is 4.5 minus I think 106, and then the first half, I guess let's go, will probably be about 2.5.
I saw it too. Some spots at 2.5.
No 2s I'm seeing, so let's just give you 2.5 minus 103.
Pull that trigger, baby.
All right, maybe you have some. First, let's go to Ross Benjamin, see what he has to say. Ross Benjamin, what mid-major underdogs have you found for us today, as per your assignment?
Well, I'm really digging here, but I'm going to take Charlotte plus the 6.5 against UAB. You're looking at a UAB club, guys, 2-5 straight up in ATS in their last 7 as a favorite. They've also dropped 5 of their last 6 and 7 of their last 9 games overall. Yep. And I know it's a neutral site game, but you know what? UAB 0-5 straight up in ATS in their last 5 games away from their home floor and lost by an average of 11 points. Small value here on the underdog, Charlotte plus 6.5 against UAB.
All right, my only issue for that one, you said that it's a neutral site, which it is, but it is being played in Birmingham, not on their home court, but it is in their home city. Do you give that any credence?
Yeah, I do. Actually, you know what I mean? It's the same thing as the St. John scenario.
Right.
You know, you could say it technically it's a neutral court, but bottom line is UAB has not played well.
Right.
And not so much so they should be a deserving 6.5.
Okay,
points.
Pete, I like the way you broke that down with that word credence, and that reminded me of Credence Clearwater Revival, baby. We got to get some music pumping.
We'll get some music. All right, first let's get to some more mid-major underdogs. Ross Benjamin, what do you have for us?
One more, because we already had Southern Miss plus 11.5, which I agree with you on. Appalachian State against Troy. Look at Troy, 10 wins. Their last 10 wins by an average of 8.5 points. They're not blowing teams out when they win. Actually, 8 of their last 10 wins by 10 or less. 4-12 against the spread versus less than 500 teams over the last 2 years. 6-16 against the spread as a favorite over the last 3 seasons. Really digging here, but I'm going to have a small lean once again with App State plus the 6 against Troy.
Yeah, Appalachian State's been bad ATS overall. Troy's been good ATS overall, but my note on this game is be careful. Appalachian State could easily surprise here. So I feel
might need to rename Ross Benjamin the archaeologist today because he's had to do some digging, baby.
All right. That's it for Ross Benjamin's mid-major underdog plays of Ross Benjamin. Please chime in on the rest of the analysis Mike Brenner and I give on our picks.
Mike Brenner,
what else do you have, Mike Brenner?
Here we go, baby. I love this one. All right, Colorado, they're just red hot down the stretch. 8 out of 11. All right, they pounded this team by 32 last month. They are going to beat the daylights out of Washington State. Huh? Yep, I like the full game, Pistol Pete. Pull that trigger for me.
All right, see, the full game, it's a big line. It's still 10. I was looking at this one.
They beat them by 32, and it was no problem.
Yeah, but they also played them one other time at Washington State and lost.
I know.
Colorado's only 4-9-1 ATS away from home this year, and Washington State is 8-5 ATS away from home. I was thinking it might be Washington State might be the play.
Let's go head to head then, Pete. I just think they're hot compared to Washington State down the road. I like that momentum going into the tournament.
Ross Benjamin, you have an opinion on that one?
I mean, if I had a lean, I had to go toward Colorado. You're looking at Washington State. 0-6, 2-8 in their last 10 games, and as Mike alluded to, Colorado rolling, and also that 32-point win in Boulder should bode well for confidence for Colorado.
No
all right. Okay, I'm not going to go ahead
No,
and
you're not.
with you.
I'm not even
all
going
right.
to let you do that.
Do you have anything else,
God.
Mike Brenner?
Yes,
Because
I do,
we will
by
wrap
God.
this up in the
I
video.
know,
I will
I
with
know.
all of my 5 or
Okay.
6 or 10 picks,
Okay,
whatever
you
they might
probably
be.
have 35 or 10. Don't even mention
all right.
it. All right, here we go, baby. This is going to be a big one. I think Pittsburgh is tired from last night. I was on the losing end. I had G-Tech on the money line.
Yeah,
it was a tight
me
game.
too.
All right, but Virginia is sitting and waiting, and they pounded this Pitt team earlier, and there's no way in hell they're not going to do it again. Give me the best shop line on that full
right
game.
now, all I have is a line from BetOnline and SportsBetting.ag. You can take that one, or you can wait for the Pinnacle Open or whatever. It's 9.5.
Yeah, I'm going to take the 9.5. I don't think
Virginia,
it's going to do
9.5?
anything but it go up. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
9.5
Virginia went through
110.
that little slump, and they've really bounced back nicely over their last 3 or 4 games. One of my sleeper picks to get to the Final Four, I was looking pretty stupid. I put that out before they went on that 4-game losing streak, but it's looking a little bit better right now.
No, it is. It is.
Yeah.
All right, so that's that one. Let's move on, buddy. Here we go. Here's another team, pounded a team just 4 days ago, and I'm talking about Southern Cal, all right? I've dug in pretty deep to this one, and I think where the advantage is, Pistol Pete and Ross, I think it's in the first half against Washington, and I just think that game 4 days ago is still fresh, and it's going to be like it's halftime, and they're coming back, and they're going to keep the same game plan.
So just the first half?
Just the first half.
-6, -110.
Yep, I love that.
All right, is that it for you, Mike?
One more to wrap it up. I'm going Wake Forest today, baby. I want the full game versus VTech.
Okay, let me find.
I just
see
think
that's another one I didn't look at because there was no overnight line. We do have an early line from BetOnline. You want Wake Forest? Which one do you want?
I want Wake Forest, baby.
-2, -110.
Absolutely, I think they're going to get it done in the full game. And Ross, I wanted your opinion on that. I think Wake's got a lot of momentum and emotion, and I just think Danny Manning's going to have these boys ready to play. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, my thought is this: a matter of urgency, right? I mean, Wake Forest, they won last night, won or yesterday afternoon, I should say, in a convincing manner. And Virginia Tech's in right now in the tournament. Wake Forest still on the bubble. They can't afford to lose this game. They still may make it if they lose, but it's highly improbable. But they really solidify their position with the win today. And you're looking at a Virginia Tech team not very good defensively, and Wake Forest, they could put up some points, Mike. So I agree with you.
Fantastic.
All right. Okay. So is that it for you, Mike
That's it for
Brenner?
me. So
All
it's
right.
time to turn you loose,
yeah,
baby.
I'm scanning there's only a few that I'm. First one I will throw on. It is going to be on the 12 o'clock game. I'll take Syracuse just on the full game money line against Miami. Then this one I think I'm liking a bit. I'm going to take Arkansas State just on the full game. They played ULM early this year, and ULM actually played them kind of tight, but Arkansas State pulled away in the second half. So this game, if you see it relatively tight in the first half, I'm definitely going to be on Arkansas State in the second half. Think about that. But I'll take them on the full game at -6.5.
I like
-110. Then another game I'm definitely going to give is also Wyoming against Air Force. Wyoming handled Air Force twice this year. I think they can do that, so I'm going to take that full game -6 and the first half. And then let's see, and the half, first half and full game on that one. Some other interesting games that I'm passing that maybe I'll bring up in a second. But I'm also liking Marshall at home. Marshall at a neutral site against the Florida Atlantic. First half and full game -6 is the full game. Marshall played Florida Atlantic once at Florida Atlantic, blew them out by 17, and we know what Marshall can do. Yeah, I know.
But they are a D'Antoni run team, so they're going to be doing some running and gunning.
And they're also playing Florida Atlantic, and as much as you might worry about Marshall, you want to worry about Florida Atlantic a lot more.
Can I chime in a second?
Go ahead. Yeah, please.
Yeah, the Syracuse game, I mean, I hope you're right. I really do, because I'm a big SU fan. But, this is a team that's only won 2 games on the road and hasn't won any games at a neutral site this year. There are only 2 wins. They needed a 3-pointer to win by 1 against Clemson at the buzzer, and then they also pulled out an overtime win against a very bad North Carolina State team. My only hesitancy there is that Syracuse has difficulty. They're a different team on the road and on a neutral site than they are at home. But urgency. Miami's in. Syracuse, although they're in on some prognosticators, round of 64, round of 68, whatever. I still think they need this win to really solidify a position in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, I'm definitely taking a chance there. But
I want to throw this in too, and I think it's important. Now, there's been some talk of Boeheim, however you pronounce it, Boeheim stepping down. He might retire. Now, believe it or not, and I'm not a huge Boeheim fan. I'm just not, but I know the guy does get it done. I would not be at all surprised if these players rally around this guy and give a tournament for the ages for him. So let's not forget that.
Yeah. All right. And then I just want to ask your opinions on a couple other games I'm sure people are wondering about.
There he goes. You can't stop yourself.
Penn State and Nebraska. Nebraska was at home and pounded Penn State recently. Penn State also has an injury. Penn State's a team that I've been on a few times this year.
You've had
successfully, yes. But I'm not exactly seeing why Nebraska should be a dog here. Ross Benjamin, you have anything to say about that one?
Yeah, I mean, Nebraska, you look at what they've done recently, Pete. They're reeling. I mean, they're not only losing games, they're getting blown out.
They are.
And I understand the first meeting, Penn State's sort of a schizo team.
Yeah.
When you want to count them out, they come up with a big effort. Nebraska's along the same lines, but I have a small lean toward Penn State. Game I'm going to steer clear of.
And guys, let's not forget, early this year, Nebraska had some good wins, and everybody was, and I think their value got a little overflated, you know?
All right, that's about it, guys. Thanks for keeping it punchy. And I guess, actually, there's one other game I want to ask.
I could stay on with Ross Benjamin for hours.
The only other game I want to ask about, because I was thinking about this, UNLV and San Diego State. Now, San Diego State, of course, beat UNLV by double digits both times this year, but this is a home game for UNLV. It's being played at not just in Las Vegas, but at Thomas and Mack Center at their home court. San Diego State, even though they did handle UNLV twice this year, was overvalued this year very clearly.
I think so for sure. And this is one of those situations where you better look out when a team's beat one twice. And like you said, at the Mack Center with UNLV might get that revenge.
I was thinking about UNLV when it was 9.5. Now it's 9. What do you think about that, Ross Benjamin?
I'm going to stay away from this game. UNLV's horrible. I'm just not going to ask a bad team to do good things for me.
Right. I like the way he said that.
UNLV is 3-12-1 ATS over the
Jerry
last 16.
Tarkanian is upstairs somewhere just rolling over going, what in the hell happened to that team?
All right, guys.
On that towel, baby.
You got it, buddy.
Thanks for keeping it punchy. Let's give Ross Benjamin a very well-deserved plug.
Please.
rbwins.com is his website. Tell us about that, Ross.
Like I said, guys, I'm not using any of these 3 underdog picks at my site today for my clients, or I'm not wagering on them myself, although I hope all 3 win for the viewers out there. But if you really want my picks that I'm personally wagering on and my paying clients are getting, you're going to have to go to rbwins.com. Guys, I'm on an absolute roll, not only in college basketball, but the NBA. Right now in the NBA, 8-0 with my last 8. College basketball, 18-11 with my last 29. And all sports, 15-4 with my last 19. That's rbwins.com, where you pay a little to make a
lot. Win a lot, baby.
All right. Ross Benjamin, thanks so much. We'll be back tomorrow for the...
Now.
I'm sorry?
Only call me if you're willing to do business, please. The only thing I give out free is my URL and my phone number, and what I do here for SBR. It's 781-571-0299.
All right, Ross Benjamin giving his phone number public. Thanks so much, Ross Benjamin. We'll be back tomorrow for the Thursday
Have
card.
a great day, Ross, and viewers out there, don't forget #AskSBR.
Well, this episode of The Odds Couple is over. But if you give us a like and click SBR's logo at the bottom of the screen to subscribe, then you'll get all the upcoming videos as soon as they come out. And don't forget to take advantage of our website. There's free picks, live betting lines, and sportsbook reviews and ratings guides, and a whole lot more. Check it out now.